Hello and welcome to the second micro-learning seminar. This one is on overcoming postpartum guilt for new parents, navigating emotional challenges in early parenthood. My name is Leah DeZormo. I am an MSW intern with Amber Sperling Social Work and Psychotherapy Services. This is my second micro-learning seminar. The first one I did was on anxiety in the postpartum period. I hope you were able to watch that one. And our last one will be on understanding identity shifts. So, an introduction into postpartum guilt. So, the definition is postpartum guilt refers to the feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, or self blame that many new parents experience after the birth of their child. The prevalence is very common and affects a significant number of new parents, especially mothers, due to hormonal changes, societal expectations, and the pressures of caregiving. So the purpose of this presentation is to explore the causes of postpartum guilt and offer some practical strategies to manage it. Understanding postpartum guilt. So what is it really? Feelings of guilt, inadequacy, or fear of not being a good enough parent can stem from not meeting personal or societal expectations or not feeling perfect during the transition to parenthood. How does it manifest? So overwhelming feelings of responsibility, comparing oneself to other parents, guilt over needing breaks or time for self-care. So again, with social media these days, and that just looks different in terms of people sharing and posting all these perfect moments in their life, and that can really have an impact because I'm not doing those things, so I must be a bad parent. And I'm a bad parent, so I feel guilty about that. Just from something you saw for 2 seconds on social media, it can actually be that quick for you. Where guilt can kind of take over based on something we saw or something we think we should do, because society expectations are telling us that. So what can cause it? So again, hormonal changes, postpartum hormone fluctuations contribute to mood swings. It can make it a little bit harder to manage our guilty feelings. We've talked about societal expectations from media, family. What is the perfect parent? There is no perfect parent, but we have in our mind, of course, that we want to be that. And so we're kind of taking in from everybody in our life, right? Lack of support, so feelings of isolation or being overwhelmed due to limited supports, personal expectations, the pressures that you're putting on yourself, right, for your little one. That's kind of, lots of different factors as to where it can come from, right, and what can cause it. Impact of postpartum guilt. So emotional well-being, anxiety, sadness, stress can arise when parents feel they're not doing enough. Relationships, postpartum guilt can affect your relationship with partners, family members, friends. If you're feeling family and friends are, doing this, you should do this, or have you done this, and you haven't done it, that can really put a strain on those relationships, and you can kind of feel like, I don't want to be around those people because they're saying all these things that I'm not doing or I should be doing, right? So it can really affect different relationships. Parenting over worrying can cause burnout and can affect the quality of your parenting interaction. So we're over worrying, we're overthinking everything we're doing or that we're not doing enough, then that can certainly start to impact your parenting, right? You can really overparent or underparent during those times. So recognizing guilt and its effects. So physical signs, fatigue, headaches, trouble sleeping, emotional signs, your feelings of inadequacy, frustration, sadness, you're getting really frustrated at different things and you're not really sure why. Cognitive signs, so constant self-doubt, negative self-talk, perfectionism, like I'm not good enough. Oh, look, I didn't even get the laundry done today. Those kind of, negative self-talk. Behavioral signs, overcommitting, avoiding social interactions, withdrawing from family, all those things I said, right? You don't want to go out. You don't want to be around other people because you're having lots of feelings of guilt, right? So what do we do? What do we do with managing this guilt? Again, it's pretty normal, especially when we're at the beginning stages of parenting, right? And we're just kind of learning it all. So reframing techniques. So this is a really great one. Again, something kind of quick you can do, something really easy you can do. So what is reframing? So reframing is kind of a cognitive technique where you change the way you interpret or think about a situation, shifting from negative or guilt-inducing thoughts to a more balanced, constructive perspective. So, some examples of how would we do reframing techniques to manage postpartum guilt. So, something like I'm not doing enough to I'm doing the best I can. I didn't get the laundry done today, and that's okay. I spent the day with my baby. Just like shifting those negative thoughts and sayings that we do can really have a big impact. Instead of focusing on what you haven't done, remind yourself of all the things you're doing, no matter how small. So again, it's I got the dishes cleaned out of the sink, or I got the dishwasher turned on, or I tidied up the toys in the TV room. Something really small that you did. Say, I feel accomplished because I got that done today, right? Acknowledge your effect and love, not just the outcome. So from I'm failing as a parent to I'm learning and growing. So tell yourself that, right? Teach yourself how the effect of loving yourself and self-compassion, right? So I'm failing as a parent, or I'm like new at this, and this is my first baby, and I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm learning and I'm growing every day and getting more confident. Just shifting that talk, right? Parenthood is a journey full of learning. Embrace mistakes as opportunities to grow rather than evidence of failure. Shift the focus from perfection to progress. So nobody's a perfect parent. Nobody does it right every single time. We all make mistakes. And what are mistakes? Mistakes are ways that we learn and we can grow. And as our children grow up, we tell them this, right? That they're going to learn from their mistakes. So we're in the same process of learning, especially again, if it's your first time being a parent, then you've never done this before. It's very new. Some more reframing techniques. So from I need to be everything to my baby to it's okay to need help, right? So it's okay that you ask for help, that other people come and, give the baby a bottle so that you can go have a shower, or you can, wash the dishes, or whatever it is that's important to you at that time, right? Recognizing that seeking support is a strength, not a weakness. It's important to be it's impossible, to be everything to your baby all at once. You are teaching your child that asking for help and taking care of oneself is important. So yeah, I kind of mentioned that, like, we're going to teach our children they need to learn from their mistakes, that they need to ask for help sometimes, right? There's nothing wrong with that. We don't judge anybody for doing it, but yet we seem to judge ourselves sometimes for that. So again, just learning that, and it's actually a sign of strength, not weakness. So another one is I shouldn't feel guilty, to it's okay to have complex feelings, right? So two things can be true at the same time, that you are loving your baby, loving having a baby and being off and spending time with your baby, but also it's okay to have these feelings, and these feelings are complex, and I'm just learning to process them. Doesn't mean you don't love your baby just as much, right? It's just these both things are happening to you at the same time. Postpartum guilt often comes with a range of emotions. Embrace them without judgment. It's natural to feel overwhelmed at times. Feeling guilty doesn't mean you're a bad parent. We've already touched on that. I need to be perfect to I'm enough just the way I am. And your baby doesn't know any different, right? They don't know if you did 10 loads of laundry, cleaned the entire house, made baby food from scratch. They don't know that. All they know is that you were there for them and loving them and providing love and comfort to them. That's all they know. So no one's looking in saying you have to do all these things. Your baby just wants you to be present and wants you there. Perfectionism obviously doesn't exist in parenting. The most important thing, obviously, is your love and effort and the presence in your child's life, right? And that goes when they get older too, right? They just want you to be present, to play a game with them, share their day with them, tell you about maybe if they had a really yucky day, they just want to tell you about it. It doesn't mean you can fix it, and it doesn't mean you're going to make it all better, but it's just being present and listening, and that's all they need, right? They don't care that they came home and the house was cleaned and you made this great fancy dinner. They don't really care about that, right? Embrace your imperfections as part of your unique parenting journey. We all have our own journey and we're all on our own journey. So it's important to acknowledge this is my journey and it's not going to be the same as anybody else's, and that's okay. So why do these help? It reduces unnecessary stress and self-criticism. It can foster a mindset of growth rather than perfectionism. It empowers you to focus on what truly matters, your well-being and connection to your baby. I think I've touched on that, right? They're really great, and they're really, really simple things that you can do. When you catch yourself, catching yourself is kind of the hard part, but when you catch yourself saying something negative, just think to shift it. I'm learning. I'm being the best I can. If you have a couple of scripts that you can say just to kind of get you into the habit of it, then that can really be helpful. Some more coping strategies, self-compassion. So acknowledge that being new parents is challenging and that it's okay, obviously, not to be perfect. Practice self-kindness and instead of self-criticism. Remind yourself that it's normal to make mistakes, right? Like, oh, I didn't handle that situation well, or oh, I really wish I'd handled it this way, but next time I'm going to do better. Just something simple like that, right? Setting realistic expectations. So accept that some days will be harder than others. Let go of the idea of the perfect parent. Prioritize what's really important and let go of less essential tasks. So again, being present with your baby is the most important thing than a clean house, right? Clean houses are important and they're nice, but prioritizing today, this is the goal that I have for what I'm going to complete today. Reach out for support. So don't be afraid to ask for help from your partner, friends, or family. Seek support from other new parents, either online, in person. It really can help reduce feelings of isolation. Winter months tend to be harder for everybody. It's harder to get out. It's harder to interact. It's hard to get babies out when it's cold and windy and snowy. And so it's darker, our days are shorter. So it's really important to make sure you're getting out to reduce, those feelings of isolation. Self-care and taking breaks. It's okay to take breaks for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So make time for activities that rejuvenate you. Taking a walk, reading, meditating, binging a show on Netflix, reading your favorite book. Whatever that looks like for you, there is no right or wrong for self-care, right? Self-care is literally, if it's doing a load of laundry, if that makes you feel better to get that done, then that's what you do for self-care, right? If it's going for a walk or doing a guided meditation online, that's what's important to you, right? So self-care is a very personal thing that is something that works for you and that brings you joy. Seeking professional help. So obviously therapy and counseling. A therapist can help you explore the source of the guilt and provide some really great strategies for overcoming it. Support groups. Obviously join a postpartum support group when you can. Talk about it with others. Everyone's kind of going through the same thing, right? And they may not share it, but it's important to kind of get yourself out there and kind of talk and feel heard and not alone in the situation. Possibly medication if needed. If guilt is leading to severe anxiety or depression, consult with your healthcare provider about possible treatments in conjunction, as I talked about in the other presentation, with different things that you're doing, right? Medication is one piece of the puzzle. Normalizing the experience. So it's okay to not feel okay. It's okay to say, I'm really having a rough day today. I'm not sure why, but I'm not at my best today. Acknowledge that it's normal to have mixed emotions, including moments of doubt or frustration. You're doing the best you can. Remind yourself that being a good parent doesn't require perfection, just love and effort. Create a support system. Surround yourself with understanding people who validate your feelings and encourage self-care. So sometimes our support systems are our immediate family, our partners, our sisters, brothers, parents, that can be a really great support system. If those people are not providing support in the way that's helpful to you, support systems can look like your support group or a really good friend you met at a mommy group, right? We sometimes get stuck on, our support system has to be these people. And different people can provide different support to you, right? So you create your support system and know who your people are that are going to give you what you're needing at that time. So moving forward, celebrate small wins. Take time to acknowledge the success, even the small ones in your parenting journey. Be gentle with yourself. Parenting is a learning process. It's okay to take things day by day. Embrace flexibility. That's a big one, especially with little ones, right? Just when you think you got it down, they change it on you. Their sleep schedule changes, their eating schedule changes. So we have to stay flexible, and with flexibility can sometimes cause worry, and we just have to move with it, right? Adapt and change as needed. What works today again may not work tomorrow. So we have to be fluid in, well, this was a really great sleep day, but yesterday wasn't, right? And we're going to try again tomorrow and see what happens. We have to be fluid and flexible. So conclusion and some summary of takeaways. Postpartum guilt is common, but it's very manageable. Strategies like self-compassion, seeking support, and prioritizing self-care can make a significant difference. Perfectionism is not the goal. Being a loving, present parent is. Closing thoughts, give yourself grace and trust that you're doing the best you can. And then the resources and support, same ones as last time. Canada Crisis Number, Mental Health Crisis Line, Simcoe County Crisis Line, 24-hour Crisis Line, Trans Lifeline, Perinatal Wellbeing Ontario, and Aurelia Soldiers Memorial Hospital Perinatal Mental Health. Again, speak to your doctor. If anything is concerning to you, reach out to any of these supports. There's lots of different counseling options out there that are pay as you can or pay what you can on a sliding scale. If you have benefits, I encourage you to reach out. So again, thank you for listening to this presentation. This is the second one in a series of 3. The next one is understanding identity shifts during the postpartum period. And there'll be a live session on March 4th at 12 p.m. to answer any questions you might have. Thanks and have a great day.